Hi, and welcome to Chronicles of Yarnia, the podcast from Montclair's local yarn store. I'm Jen.
Amanda.
And Kathleen.
And we are chatting. This is our third episode. So we are super excited. We're going to go through a couple of things. The first thing is we just came off of the New Jersey Wool Walk, which is our first Wool Walk.
First official year.
First official year, that's right. So the way the Wool Walk, it's like a yarn crawl or Wool Walk, where basically you get a passport and you go to each of the, in our case, I think it was 18 or 19 participating stores.
Three new stores this year, and we're one of them.
Almost all the yarn stores in New Jersey. Somebody said that they know of 4. I know of 2 others that didn't participate, but it's almost all the yarn stores in New Jersey, which is really pretty cool.
That's pretty awesome. And so every store had like discounts or trunk shows or something special going on, including us. And it was awesome. There were a ton of people.
It was
crazy. So many new people. It was good.
Loved it.
I think my favorite point was when you drove by Thursday morning, which was the first day. Drove right around 11 o'clock. Let me see how it's going. And Jen's like, oh my God, I better get myself in there. Kathleen and Vivian are drowning.
The line was like around and back, and everybody was like chatting and fun. It was
fun. It was the most fun line ever.
Go to the back.
It was good. It was amazing.
It was really cool to see. And it was like everybody was so awesome and so like in such good spirits.
Fiber folks are the best folks.
Yes,
right?
they are. Thank you so much for your patience.
Yes. And
our store doesn't usually have that many people in it.
I would say there was at least like when I came by, there were probably, I don't know, 30 or more.
Yeah,
I mean, this is a small space.
There were certain points when it was pretty maxed out. Yeah,
it was a little hardcore.
Cozy.
Right.
We're going to go with cozy.
But it was so fun because everybody was chiming in and they were like, oh, I don't like that color for you, but like try this one. And
exactly.
like, what do you think for this? And what do you think for that? And it was just really great. And then we had like a late night on Friday, which was a little bit rainy, but it was super fun because we had champagne or Prosecco. No, we had both actually. Bubbly water, and it was just like, it's great camaraderie. Like it was really nice to see, and I was amazed at how many people got to all 18 stores, or almost all 18 stores.
Yeah, several of our customers, I know, got to all 18.
Hi, Rachel.
And
And Edith.
Edith, that's right. Edith got like
second year in a row she did all of them.
That is, it's so impressive. I feel like that requires a level of planning that I'm not sure I can handle. And driving. Yeah. Like that's a lot of driving. Thank God New Jersey is a small state.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's one reason it works.
Right? I think so too.
And let's not forget Saturday and Sunday.
Oh yeah,
when we had Girl Scout cookies here.
That's right.
Abby was selling her Girl Scout cookies.
Entrepreneur.
There were more Girl Scout cookies flying out of here. That was amazing.
She was employing high pressure sales tactics on the sidewalk.
High pressure cute tactics.
Yeah.
All she had to do was smile, and like you would get random people off the street being like, "She talked me into it." Yeah, she does that.
Yeah.
Good job.
She did a really good job though. She sold 226 boxes of cookies.
Oh my goodness!
I know.
That is a lot of cookies.
That's crazy. Do you have any left?
We have a few of the lemon ones, like 9 boxes of the lemon ones, and probably
I might take one of those off your hands. I got multiple people in my household that would eat those.
And I think a case and a half of Do-si-dos.
They usually go pretty fast too.
Yeah.
Having been a former cookie mom.
No, they're really good. That's why I ordered as many as I did. So, but I figured, you know what? When I'm here on the weekends, I'll just bring them.
Yeah.
You can
special treat. Come
pick
by.
them up.
Say hi to Amanda.
Yarn. Until they're gone.
She's your cookie hookup.
Their cookie hookup.
I feel like I'm a samosas, thin mints, and occasionally a tag-along kind of girl, so I feel like those kind of go fast.
Oh, right? I'm a toffee-tastic all the way. I love those
toffee-tastic. Clearly, I have boys.
They've reformulated them, and now they're gluten-free. And they taste like such good shortbread with little toffee chips in it.
I do love shortbread.
Like real shortbread.
I really love shortbread.
Yeah.
Okay, do you have those?
I have a box in my personal stash.
Oh no! I got to spread. I got to spread my Girl Scout cookie love around because I know too many folks with Girl Scouts, not just you, but like multiple troops. So I really have to be like, okay, I'll send out the word who's got the toffee tastics.
Yeah.
That I can try. But yeah, I was really happy with how the Wool Walk went, and it was really great to see everybody and to see how welcoming everyone was and how excited they were to come here. Yeah. It's just really fun. It's a great community.
And it was a great opportunity to meet some folks that, there have been people that have contacted us, either emailed us or folks in the Montclair Knitting Circle that don't make it to that.
Yeah.
Or, and, maybe haven't been in the store yet. There was one woman who actually, came in, and it was either early on Thursday or early on Friday. I forget which. But, we had communicated on the Knitting Circle Facebook group and everything, and finally met her. She posted the sweetest comment later that day. She said, the Wool Walk's pretty cool, but I don't know why I'd want to go to 18 different stores when I could go to Yarnia 18 times. That was so sweet. But it was great to finally meet her and so many folks. I mean, it was really cool. Crazy but fun. It really was. It was a lot of fun. So
sounds right.
Yeah.
Well, and there's a lot of other local stuff going on in Montclair and surrounds coming up. Like we're coming up on May, which is a little terrifying if you think about it. But we'll just go with the fact that the calendar keeps on marching.
And May is a big time for events in Montclair. I mean, there's even something called May in Montclair, which has been going on for probably at least 20 years, where there are all different sorts of things that happen. I mean, Iris Garden starts blooming usually around Mother's Day. There's a big sale there. And actually, the Presby Iris Gardens, if you guys come to visit us, you definitely should make time to check out the Presby Iris Garden, especially if it's around this time of year. It is one of the largest iris gardens in the world, actually.
Yeah, really.
It really is. And yeah, I know. I don't know. One of my siblings or someone was asking me about it, and I started looking up some of the history. There are plants that date back to the 1500s there, 15 and 1600. Yeah. It's amazing. It really is. And those are some of the really tiny ones. I used to live walking distance to there, so when Haley was little, we went all the time.
A couple of years ago, I went to the Iris Garden sale, and I got the grab bag, and part of they have a sale every year. Amanda, you know the
So
dates?
this year, the date, it's Mother's Day weekend, May 11th and 12th, that Friday and Saturday. I think it's 10 to 2 both days.
Yeah, and it's worth going because I got a grab bag of just random irises, and I got some of the little baby minis in there, and they're the cutest things I've ever seen, where I was just yelling at my children to not trample the irises because look how cute they're little babies.
Yeah, because if you've ever had irises in your yard, they're rhizomes.
They're not rhizomes.
They're not bulbs, so it's like a network of
they're flat
carrots
and they kind of go out.
That,
they lay on
under
the
the ground. But they can spread out over a huge area, and so because the gardens needs to contain them in the space, they dig them up. They divide them. That's how how you keep them healthy. You dig them up, you separate them, and then make new plants that way.
Yeah.
So for the ones they have too many of, they sell them to the public on those 2 days, and you can bring some of these really rare breeds.
Really rare, beautiful ones. Not just your traditional blue irises.
Yeah,
but,
everything.
I have yellow and white and a really, really pretty lavendery purpley one.
Oh my goodness.
That is a true iris color, and less blue and more purple.
They look like fireworks. Blue petals with red on the inside and the yellow.
They're so gorgeous.
Things, caterpillar things that are in irises, whatever you call them.
Yeah, every year I wanted to take so many pictures there.
It's why I asked my mom.
Beautiful.
She knows these things.
Maybe I'll put some pictures in at the end.
Yeah.
I have some from past years.
That'd be super fun.
Same, exactly. Yeah, it's hard to resist walking around there with your camera. You want to kind of capture them.
And they're just it's so stunning on a nice
spring day.
Nice spring day. Go for a walk in there. It's really pretty. It's really pretty. And there's also the other plant sale. The Van Vleck Gardens has a plant
That's
sale.
That's right up the road.
Yeah, that's just truly practically could throw a snowball there.
Yeah, you really could. And I've gotten a bunch of stuff for our garden there almost every year, including some beautiful peonies.
Yes.
I love peonies.
I have some good peonies from there too. I have those and the bleeding hearts, which I love. They grow well in the shade.
I love the bleeding heart. It's hard to find a good flowering shade plant.
Yes.
Yeah,
that one's beautiful.
Sure. Hostas and then bleeding hearts are really pretty.
And I have a black thumb of death when it comes to gardening. And my bleeding hearts come up every year, and I can't believe it. It's like a spring miracle.
Very cool. Very nice. There we go. The Van Vleck sale is not Mother's Day weekend. It's before that?
The 3rd through the 6th. Yeah, it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
I missed it last year, I think, because we were away, and I was bummed.
They also have vegetables, too.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for, like, heirloom tomatoes
and
herbs. And herbs, yeah.
Yep, I've gotten herbs there for a number of years.
Yeah, I've picked up thyme, which I then promptly killed. But, like, my track record's 50-50 with thyme. And
that's better than mine.
Yeah, pretty good. So let's see, is there anything else local going on? You want to move to finished objects? That's kind of local.
Sure. Sure. So, I can show you one of my finished objects.
Yeah.
We were in Montreal and Vermont last weekend looking at colleges. Yay. Can I say yay, McGill?
Yay, McGill! Go Haley!
So, one thing we did while we were in Montreal was stop in Espace Tricot, which, yarn shrine, right? Yeah. Hi, Spectra, Melissa Lee. So we're away at a retreat, but we talked to Katherine and Chloe there, who were so sweet. They were so helpful, and it was really nice to see it. I told them I was working on a Stoneham, which I actually finished in the car on the way home.
This is from their store, this pattern,
yes,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
It's one that they had commissioned by Dianna, Walla.
Oh, it's so pretty.
It's a little warm today, and I haven't woven in my ends. If I'd woven in my ends, I would have worn it, but really happy to, maybe we'll have one more chilly day that I can wear it before we're truly into spring here.
You know there's going to be a cold snap.
So I better get this thing blocked.
Yeah, definitely.
It's so pretty. I don't know if you guys can
tell us about it again.
So I used Kelborn Wool and Scout for the blue and the cream, and actually Scout was what they did the original for the pattern in, and we had just special ordered Scout for Jen's sweater class at the time that I started this, so we didn't have all the colors then. And so for the accents, I decided to use two colors. I used knitted with gumballs of, I forget what this purple is, and then the blue I know is Tugboat. I'm actually becoming a blue person. I know, shocker. I don't know where it came from, but it's happening.
We're rubbing off on you. Really.
So anyway, I'm really happy with this and can't wait to block it and wear it. It'll be a lot of fun.
It's beautiful.
It's going to be great.
Thank you.
It's so pretty.
It's so really pretty. Fun, and I love the idea of doing. It's kind of all the benefits of a colorwork sweater without having to worry about sleeves or fitting, right? So. This may not be my last wintry poncho. We'll see.
It's so pretty.
Thank
you. Really nice.
Thank
it looks gorgeous. It's
really
going to be beautiful blocked too.
Yeah.
I have no finished object on the needles. I have stuff on the needles. I have no finished objects because I guess I can talk about my sweater, which is finished.
Yeah.
Although I finished it like last year and I made it with stash yarn. But this is, let's see if I can adjust. Let's see. Can
it's a great shape.
It's so
it's
pretty.
Cropped.
What's the name of the pattern?
The name of the pattern is Embruns by Emilie Luis.
Right.
Luis?
Can you spell that?
Embruns.
Yeah.
So
I'll put it there.
She'll put it in the stuff downstairs. I don't know what else to call that. It's I was originally looking to make Flaum cardigan, which is a very similar shape where it's like cropped, draped front, a little bit higher in the front and whoopy in the back, and sorry, Amanda, 3/4 sleeves. But I was using this yarn that I had, and I was nowhere near the gauge for Flaum, so I went looking for something similar. And of course, because I can't not change stuff, this front band, which I did in 1x1 rib, which I don't know if anyone can see, probably not, was originally 3x3 rib, and I felt like it was
like the way you
ribby.
did it. Oh, I like it so much. Yeah.
But the pattern had really nice details. Like there's a I-cord edge. The construction was really interesting. It was very easy to fit. So the pattern has really great details. It's really fun to wear. I was looking for like a cropped kind of summery sweater for days like this when it's chilly in the morning, but like I'm going to sweat buckets if I put on wool. So this is a yarn, I can't remember which yarn it is, but it's a blend, and I think it's cotton and silk, or maybe cotton and something else. But I was looking in the store for something that would be really good, and it's the Rowan Cotton Cashmere would make a fantastic one of these, and it's the right gauge. Can y'all see? I can't tell. No, you can't see.
It's blowing up.
It's blowing up, but it's fine. Amanda will put it in a picture and be pretty. And I love this color, which has the beautiful name.
That's dark olive.
Dark olive?
Their names aren't on there, just the numbers.
Yep.
This is not dark olive. I mean, this is like dusty teal.
I know. I almost did Charlie's coming home outfit in that color.
It's so pretty.
But like the whole range.
It would be so pretty. This would make a really beautiful, because it's cotton, it's cashmere, it'll drape, it won't be too hot.
They're great neutrals. They're just,
DK weight, so it's the right gauge. I mean, I would wear the bejesus out of this one.
I love that color.
I love this.
And don't miss the pale green over there.
Oh, and the pale green. And the pale green is really pretty. And I like the tan. I'm not usually
I'm glad
beige.
you like the tan. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah, you are going to talk about that in a little bit. I'm going to leave that out for you. The interesting thing about this sweater is that when I initially blocked it, I blocked it the way I block pretty much everything, where it's like soak in the sink, and I either spin it out in the washing machine on delicate, just to get the extra water out, just the spin cycle, nothing else, or I roll it in a towel and step on it. And I did that with this, and it came out weird. It did. It lost some of the drape. It lost all of the spring. The gauge was off, but I was like, wait, I'm pretty sure this is mostly cotton. So I re-blocked it. I soaked it in the sink again, just really wetting it for 5 minutes. I spun it out, and then I threw it in the dryer in a lingerie bag until it was nearly dry.
Wow. Brave.
Well, that looks perfect.
Because it's, I'm pretty sure it's cotton and silk, maybe cotton viscose and silk. None of those shrink.
Right.
Or cotton shrinks.
Cotton can shrink.
Cotton can shrink, but really what I wanted to do, like the washing it and the blocking it traditionally, wasn't getting the feel of the fabric that it was on the needles. But throwing it in the dryer, it all sprung back to life. And I didn't dry it hot. I dried it on low in a lingerie bag so nothing would snag or anything
and
like
I'm sure
that.
you checked on it regularly.
Oh yeah, I was sitting there like every 5 minutes being like, are you done yet? Are you done yet? Are you done yet? To the point where like my family was like, what are you doing? And
it's like when you're microwaving ice cream and it's like, ding,
ding. One second.
Or butter.
Right, or butter.
Yeah. I'm always microwaving
my butter always explodes.
11 seconds in my microwave is the perfect for making butter spreadable for toast and things.
Really? Awesome. I have a French butter keeper that I got up in Cape Cod at a pottery place that like...
That's good. You just leave it.
But when that's empty and all of the butter's in the freezer, you pour boiling water into a glass and put it over the stick of butter.
I just saw that in the last couple of days. I never had heard that. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah,
it works really well.
Then I don't have to clean my microwave.
Then you don't have to clean your microwave when it explodes. But yeah, so this, when I took it out damp and I let it dry again, and that's when I shaped everything and made sure the lines were good and the neck was whatever and all of that. And it was perfect. And because I figured I wasn't going to wear it the way it came out blocked. Right,
exactly.
I was kind of pissed. So I was like, what's the worst that's going to happen? I unravel. That's the worst that's going to happen. So,
and you didn't have to.
And I didn't have to, and I can wear it now.
Cool.
So,
all right.
Yay. And I'll talk about my finished object.
Yeah. So pretty.
I finished it just in time for the wool walk because I really wanted to show off for all of our wool walkers.
Why
not? This is my Zweig by Caitlin Hunter. And the reason that I have short sleeves is because I wanted to finish it in time for the wool walk, and I would have finished it in time for the end of school if I was doing sleeves on it. But I love it. So I knit this in Ancient Art Sock Nadeau. So sock yarn is not just for socks. This is what is it? I know it's a wool nylon. So yeah, 80% merino, 20% nylon blend. And this is in the French lilac color is the main color here, and this is Little Wild Things.
I love Little Wild Things. Yeah,
I love that
color. Yeah, and it's a perfect spring colors. Let's see, I'm wearing the medium size, which is 36-inch bust, and I used 1 skein of the Little Wild Things and 2 skeins of the French lilac, except I came in a panic and Jen wound the 3rd skein for me to do the last 8 rows on the sleeve here. So I'll use the rest of it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if I had taken my remaining yarn and weighed it before I started the sleeves and then divided it into 2 equal balls, then I wouldn't have run out of yarn.
Yeah, but you're gonna need that for when you do.
Right. Yeah, I didn't mind. Yeah. I didn't mind because I'm gonna use the rest of the 3rd one. But I was happy that I got. I got a medium-sized sweater out of 3 skeins in the main. So yeah, I was actually here last weekend and was looking at our sock yarn wall and was like, wow, we have a lot of sock Nadeau. That's fantastic colors to do this. And so I pulled some. And I'll show you a few.
Yeah.
I'll show you a few, and then I'll have more at the end. And we have either at least three of each of these colors in the main color, and some of them we have 4 or more in. And I'll put photos at the end with how many of each one we have. So this one, I love it. This green, this solid green is Mama's Retro Kitchen.
I love that one.
Color of my KitchenAid.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's that. And then I think it goes really well with this one, which is, I think it's Stay Off My Lawn. Get Off My Lawn. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That would be so pretty. And that would be great as a springy sweater, too.
Yeah.
Like you did.
That would be
do
so
it
cute
now
in
with
short sleeves.
Yep. And then
that would be so cute in short sleeves.
You want to show this
and
one?
then, yeah, sure. This is the French lilac that I did mine in.
It's really pretty.
I couldn't find another skein of Little Wild Things. We might be out of that. But I think, so the thing with using a speckled yarn is you do obscure the lace a little bit, which if you use a lightly speckled yarn, it's fine.
Yeah.
I like it though. I think that's one of the things.
Yeah.
I've looked at so many Zweigs on Ravelry. I definitely want to make one.
Me too.
At some point soon, and I love the speckle with the lace. I think
me too.
It's kind of a big enough lace that it can deal with the speckle.
Yeah. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
And I think most of the ones I pulled are like that. But I pulled this one.
But that's really
and some are really nice with the dark as the
I love that. Well, and
that's
I feel like also sometimes people can get a little scared of speckle.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot. And if you are more of the like, okay, color is still, like I'm still trying to get color into my life and neutrals, she says wearing gray and black. This is a great way to do it.
Yeah. I like this moussaka.
I do too.
Yeah, that's really pretty.
Really pretty.
Let's see. What's the next one?
We have some greens.
Yes, the greens.
Ooh,
so,
pretty.
yeah, this is Nishwain plus Edgemont, which if you're local to Montclair, you're like, I know that name. That's the name of 2 of the parks in Montclair, Nishwain Park and Edgemont Park. And this is part of our Kickstarter for when we open Yarnia. We have a few skeins of this left. And this green goes awesome with this skein here, which is called Naughty Little Rabbit.
Aww,
I love that one so much.
It's got browns and blues, a little orange, green.
Perfect Peter Rabbit colors.
Yeah.
His little blue coat.
I think that one's so cute.
Do you want to just show the rest of them at the end, maybe? I'm just thinking about how. So
because I've got to go to New York today for work.
And the other thing, we can always do, and we love doing, is pulling together kits for people.
Yeah.
If you come into the store and say, well, I really want, kind of a pink background and what you have that would work with that. That is one of my absolute favorite things to do.
Yeah.
So,
and you can definitely knit this out of something other than sock Nadeau, but if folks haven't used it before, it's a fantastic yarn. It's a little bit on the heavier side of fingering, and so it like really gives you a substantial garment. I think I'll probably wash this again and leave it in the store for folks to take a look at for a while.
Yeah, I mean it's so cute. It's so cute, and it's like a short sleeve fingering weight sweater is such a great option for wearing your favorite yarns. When it's not necessarily like what we classically think of as sweater weather.
Right.
Yeah.
True.
Where you're like, no, I'm still adorable. Adorable. And it's perfect. And then you can, like you're going to do, pick up, unpick the ribbing, and then pick up, and then knit down your sleeves later on.
Yeah.
So you get multi-season wear for at least a year.
Yeah.
I think that's so clever. Well, I really do.
Yeah. And I like the way this turned out. And Beth was saying, you should leave it short sleeved. I'm like, I want to wear it in the winter too. But maybe
you could wear it with a white shirt or something under it.
I was just thinking I'll just do a fingering weight sweater every year and stop it and wear a short sleeve during the summer and then knit the sleeves.
That's a good idea.
That's a great idea. It really is.
That's my new plan.
That's a good plan. I like that plan.
You want to talk about really quick just one other kit we have and what I'm wearing?
Yes,
okay?
I feel like it's a finished object.
Yeah, it is a finished. It's finished from a long time ago, but it is finished object, and we've got one more kit left, which I will show you. It's Ancient Arts sock Nadeau, and these are actually all 3 of the colors that we had custom dyed for us when we opened Yarnia.
So this one is the
Nishwain and Edgemont.
That's the one that Amanda just showed. What's the middle one?
That's Rooster and Pop Art.
That's right.
Which represents the art in Montclair. And then the gray, which I love gray, is another one that loves gray. Walnut and Bay, representing some of the train stations in Montclair. Yep. So this, actually the shawl, the Montclair Flair, which I'll take off and show you, was designed for us by Shanel, our first employee.
Shanel Wu.
And also known as Piper Nell.
Yeah.
So,
love you, Piper Nell.
Shanel designed this for us, and we love gorgeous. It. And we had people make it both in this kit that we put together, and this is another one where, I remember Paula Fields made it with Dalmatian for the top, and then a blue and a gray.
Right. She swapped out.
And I tested it, and I put a sparkle up here at the top.
Right. And
before the colors were dyed, yeah.
Exactly. And when I test knitted, I used a couple of, things that had been in my stash forever, and I don't know if that one's still in the store or if that one's at my house, but it's a really fun pattern to do. Shanel did a great job, with incorporating both the thematic things about Montclair that we wanted to bring in and just making it an interesting knit. So
and there's no binding off.
That's true. That's true. Yeah,
short row.
That's one of the nice aspects of it.
And super fun short. You don't have
to. Or maybe you bind off 30 stitches at the end of it.
You don't have to have that last row of 500 stitches in fingering weight yarn. Going. Oh no. Yeah. What next?
All right, so
that's awesome.
We have a little bit of time left before Amanda needs to head to the train.
Yeah, so let's go with what is on our needles.
Yes.
Amanda, you want to start?
Sure.
Awesome.
Yeah. So this weekend is Easter, and I celebrate Easter with my family, and went clothes shopping. So every year I get new dresses and outfits for my kids. I went shopping last weekend for my little three. And got stuff for the 4-year-old and the 6-year-old, but the baby, they didn't have anything. And I was like, what am I going to do? So, of course, I cast on a sweater on Saturday night, the week before Easter.
As you do.
Deadline knitting at its finest.
Right. So, because I remembered in this current issue of Knit Simple, which I'm not sponsored, just a fan, and I talk about it every episode of this podcast.
That's good. They have some great designs.
I love it. They have a whole section of bunny themed stuff. But cute. One was this little sweater that has a bunny cable on the back of it. And it's a really interesting construction.
It's on the back?
Yeah, because it has a little bobble tail.
Yeah. It's so cute.
I love it.
So
cute.
So I'm halfway done. Right? And the way that this sweater is constructed, too, you start at the bottom, back, go up, increase for the sleeves, and knit across, do a neck opening. Then I'm going to decrease the neck, right? And then decrease the sleeves and do the front.
It's all in one piece?
Up over the top.
Yes.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, and then you fold it in half.
Down over.
And just seam under the arms.
Yeah, the underarms and the bottom down here.
Great.
That's adorable.
So you get a lot done on the train today, hopefully.
Yes, this is the only project I'm taking to the city today, and hopefully I will be, I'm hoping to be done with the sleeves and just on the last body, which...
Is there anything on the front that you have to do? Or
no,
it's
all just stocking
out?
All right.
So what, Amanda, what are you knitting the sweater in?
Oh, right. So I'm knitting this in cotton cashmere, which we just talked about, in this color.
They don't put the names on the labels.
No.
So it's a lovely number.
Rowan does numbers.
Yeah, it's their linen colorway. So I have to say, though, I am not getting gauge on this sweater. So to be continued. I'll have pictures of Charlie, and this might be a little big for him. But you're supposed to have 24 stitches to 4 inches. I'm getting 20 stitches to 4 inches, maybe 21.
I think when you look at that yarn, it almost looks like it could be worsted. So depends on how densely you work it.
So I started it on a 5. I went down to a 4. I like the fabric I'm getting. It's a baby sweater, right? I'm not adding 20 stitches to a sweater for me and that big of a circumference. So we'll see. You might wear it next year too.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll roll up the sleeves.
It's a good thing. That's
it can be an oversized, a slightly oversized sweater. It looks really cute on a baby, and when you have something that that you don't intend to be oversized but ends up being oversized, it can look messy. But on a kid, it's fine.
Right.
They're fine.
He's 10 months old and wiggly anyway.
And your fabric is good. I would also say your gauge might change when it's blocked.
Yeah. So I might try that.
You might want to put it in the dryer
trick, because that's what happened with this. It got too open, and too stretched out, and so snapping it back worked well.
So, in any event.
And you can just sit there and open the door every
cute.
5 seconds.
I'll have cute pictures of Charlie in it for Easter for
love the little bobble tail.
For our next podcast, and an update on did the gauge matter?
Right.
Gauge always matters.
Gauge matters.
It's just how badly does it matter this time?
It doesn't matter a whole heck of a lot.
Actually, I can
show
show
you
stuff. A quick whip talking about gauge not mattering. I am doing the Emilia Poncho in Zoe.
Oh,
which also is very similar to that green. So this is Juniper Moon Zoe.
And Zoe's a cotton linen blend, right?
Cotton cashmere?
This is cardamom. They do color numbers and color names on some Juniper Moon labels. This one is cardamom, which I love.
Yeah, Zoe is cotton and linen.
Yeah. And there's not much to see yet at this point. I actually can't knit linen-y things for too long. I can do about 1 repeat a day of this.
Yeah, it makes your hands more tired than wool does.
Yeah, for sure.
There's no stretch inherent in plant fibers or bast fibers like linen.
Mm-hmm. But I love the way this is coming out. I did do a swatch and I blocked it. It's in my bag somewhere in there. And I decided to go down yet another needle size because I'm a notoriously loose knitter.
But linen cotton knit loose looks beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted it to be, let me get a picture of this.
Emilia is by... Who?
It's by Emilia Menendez.
Oh, nice.
It is a free pattern on Ravelry. Actually, it takes you to a link on her blog, but the last page that I printed of the pattern has the picture.
Yeah, I'll put the picture in.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
so it's lovely. And this, I just happened across this, was looking to help somebody find a summary wrap pattern on Ravelry, and the day that I found this, I think 4 different customers said that they were going to do this. It's like the perfect, light summer wrap.
For that.
Yeah,
definitely. That's really nice.
Yeah, it's really sweet. So I'm enjoying working this. I did 1.5 repeats while I was away. Once I finished my Stoneham, and it's a great summery kind of project, and I think it should go pretty quickly.
Are you using a row counter there?
I am, because it's I think the lace is like a 12 or a repeat.
You're dangly.
So, yeah, and actually this is a little weird. I don't usually do this, but most of this, I think it's like 54 stitches of stockinette, and then you hit the lace. So rather than put the row counter at the beginning of the row where you normally would, I put it near the lace because that's where you need to know what row you're on.
Need to pay attention.
So that was a little brainstorm I had in the hotel the other night.
Smart. And I'm pretty sure that pattern, like the stitch count on the lace changes because the edge goes.
It does. Yeah, we've got somebody in our intermediate class who's working on this as well, and so I know that was a little. I was gonna play around with recharting it, but it's a little bit unusual, but once you get the hang of it, it's fine.
Yeah, I feel like if you know it's coming, then it's easy to handle. If you're expecting, like, I have 15 stitches and I'm supposed to get 15 stitches, oh my god, I have 16, then you have to be like, oh wait, no.
My first lace was like that, and I didn't get the instruction to move the marker. And I did like probably 20 rounds because it was a hat, and I was like, this doesn't make sense. And then I read the instructions, which is always a good idea.
It is.
And ripped it back and started it again.
Yeah, that happens. Let's see, what do I have on my needles? I have a couple of things. I'm going to go with 2. First, I'll go with something new-ish, which is, I have too many things of yarn. Too many things. This is the beginning.
Okay, that's the very beginning.
The very beginning. The 1.5 inch of garter stitch in the round for Jessie's Girl by Elizabeth Smith, who is the brown stitch, but she just recently rebranded all of her stuff Elizabeth Smith Designs or Studios or something like that. Anyway, this is a super cute summer tee, loose gauge, lots of ease, super easy garter stitch in the round. Again, I can't leave well enough alone, and I don't like doing garter stitch in the round, even though I picked this pattern. It's a shop sample, working it in Juniper Moon Nev, which is a really cool chainette cotton, and that is kind of a gauge shifter yarn where you can knit it loosely and it looks beautiful, and you can knit it tighter.
I can see it working for the Emilia, right?
Oh, 100%.
Chainette is like that. It tends to like poof up and take the the space it needs to take. To
exactly. Right. Like you can squish it down to be knit densely on like a size 4 or 5, or you can scooch it up. And I'm knitting this on either an 8 or 9. I can't remember
14 is like that too.
Yeah. Also the chainette.
Yeah.
Chainette. But because I don't like doing garter stitch in the round, and there's really not much else to mess with on this pattern. It's very straightforward. I am doing garter stitch in the round with 2 yarns. So with 2 strands of yarn, 2 balls. One ball I go around one way until I come to the beginning, and then the other ball goes around the other way.
So you can always be knitting.
So I can always be knitting. And it's going a lot faster since I started doing that.
So clever.
I've
never heard of that before.
There's a little... I looked things up because I was like, what's the easiest way to do garter stitch in the round that does not require me to purl?
Do you know what I did for... I don't like to do garter stitch in the round either. For my Comfort Fade Cardi, for the sleeves where you're doing garter stitch in the round, I worked it back and forth and then I seamed it.
I almost did that. So I figured I would try this.
Yeah.
And if it didn't work,
it's clever.
I would rip it out and then I would be like, screw it, I'm seaming this. But I don't have to. I mean, there is like a little bit of a textural difference right at the seam, which you will not be able to see from here because it is not super noticeable, but it's the side seam and I don't really care. So I'm making more progress on this now, and it's going to be like a nice, especially when it blocks out. This one I will not throw in the dryer. This one I'm going to block out so it stretches.
Let's just say this is an advanced technique.
Yes. That is a good point, Amanda.
Yeah.
So we don't want to say do not try this at home, but know your skill level before you try it at home.
I mean, and I also tried...
How many sweaters have you knit, Jen?
A bunch.
Many dozen. Many dozen.
Actually, yeah, maybe.
Probably, I would think so.
Yeah. Although I do a lot of accessories.
But you're an extremely advanced knitter. So take
it with a grain of salt.
We'll take this technique and just think about if you
try it. Or practice purl.
Right. Or one of the things. Sometimes we're thinking about how to kind of classify people for class levels and things and how to classify our classes. You definitely want to be a solid intermediate knitter before trying something like this.
100% intermediate knitting. This is a good level.
If you consider yourself
it's a very simple technique, but you got to wrap your head around it.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not that it's not understandable, but you really you need to really know which way you're going and
be able to tell where you are when you leave off. Because that's the one thing where I was like, I put it down, but I'm not sure where I'm supposed to go. But if I remember I'm always knitting and I can read my knitting, then I will have no problem figuring out what I'm doing. So,
So is there how did you come across the technique?
I Googled garter stitch in the round without purling. And then there were a bunch of articles about short rows. But I don't like the way that when you do a wrap and turn in garter, it actually looks better if you don't pick up the wrap.
Right.
But I didn't like the way it was coming out here, so I said, not that way. And then this was the other way that came around with 2 yarns. And I was thinking, maybe like helical knitting, where you do like the 1 row stripes and it's kind of chasing each other up a staircase is how I think of it. But that would still require me to purl, so that's a no. I would have no side seam at that point because everything would just run along parallel. But that would still require me to purl. And it's not that I'm not a fast purler, it's just a pain in the neck.
Yeah.
I don't wanna. Don't wanna, can't make me. And I'm almost done with the body of my Camaro. I was aiming to get...
That went fast once that gray came in.
Once the gray came in...
wow! You finished the ribbing.
I finished the ribbing.
For the second time.
For the second time. I would have been essentially wearing it like Amanda, but, sleeves on waist yarn. Or lack of sleeves on waist yarn. But I knit it too short. I did the entire ribbing and was ready to bind off.
There's a theme in Jen's sweaters.
The theme is
too long.
Write down the length you want it to be and measure it, not at 11:30 at night.
Yeah,
that's the theme.
Yeah,
pay attention, Jen. So I've got like 2 more rows of ribbing, I think, to do, and then I think I'm gonna do a sewn bind off, so it's stretchy. And then I'll probably pick up the blue for the neck edging. just so I can get that done, and then I'll see if I can crank out some sleeves over spring break. So
cool. Nice.
Almost done. Done.
Good goals.
So we should talk real quickly about Knitted Wit, right?
Yes.
Or do we need to?
Oh yeah, because that was the stripes, or the whole thing is
knitted. The whole thing is Knitted Wit Victory DK, and
she rebranded. It's just DK.
Oh, it's just DK. So Knitted Wit DK, which makes sense.
Formerly known as.
And sock is now just, and Victory sock is now just sock.
Right.
Perfect.
Similarly, yeah.
Perfect.
I will still think of it as Victory because they're pretty cool. But
because it's a unique word that's easy to look up in the inventory system.
That's true.
That is very true.
So Laura Jean, you may want to think about it.
Laura Jean, think about our point of sale system. When you brand your entire line of yarns for consistency and simplicity.
We are kidding.
No, just ignore us.
We love you.
But we love you, and we love, I love this yarn and love
really
how it's
nice
working
yarn
out.
to work with.
The colors this time. I mean,
my gosh.
We just restocked a couple of things. We restocked sock and DK, which we'd had before, and then we got in 2 new yarns as well, which
that box,
are fabulous.
Opening that box was ridiculous.
Yep, one thing after the other.
So
was
pretty.
like gasping going on.
Okay, so I yanked a couple of things that that I love off the shelf. So this
isn't everything.
This isn't no. We have a ton more. But let's talk about the DK first, real quick. And this is Gates of the Arctic National Park, which is, I'm sure Amanda will throw in pictures, but like,
I'll
how long are my arms? Not that
so
long.
she does a whole series about the national parks, and we got 8. I feel like colors,
8?
Yeah,
of the national park colors, as well as some solids. So, if you're looking to do,
oh yeah, do we have? Though I'm not sure I want to show it because I think I want all of this yarn for myself. But one of my favorites of the solids that we got this time was Bing Cherry.
Bing Cherry is
oh my
so
goodness,
good.
that is so gorgeous.
That is such a Kathleen color.
It is such a Kathleen color. It's like it almost matches my hair.
Such a Kathleen color.
Bing Cherry.
We have solids and we have variegateds, but like the colors on these skeins, guys, are ridiculous.
But all the DK
so
colors are national park related.
Yes.
So
that we got.
Gates of the Arctic.
That's Black Canyon National Park.
That's my precious.
This is Great Smoky Mountains.
That's my second precious.
Yeah, and they're all
more
spectacular.
But those are the ones that I was like,
there's a purple and yellow one.
There is.
Yeah,
you might be able to see it over Amanda's shoulder.
Yeah.
But we also got a bunch of Knitted Wit sock. Which talk about what would look good in a Zweig. You could mix it actually with the ancient art. Some of the
it would mix well.
Absolutely.
It would mix well.
Yep.
So this is Tsunami,
Yeah.
which is the blues and
that's
the
another one with the blues. I was like
and,
coveting that. Yeah, gorgeous.
And this one, Mermaid's Dream 2, which I feel like is super pretty and maybe blowing out. I can't tell. But we'll figure it out.
And then we also got a bunch more of the Harry Potter colors.
We did.
Right?
That was book 3.
Colors.
Right?
So
it
gorgeous.
Was,
they're also fun.
Right.
Tima Turner
yes.
is one.
MapQuest and...
Come in and see them.
Yeah. And Harry Potter people.
And Nettlewing, which is like a... it's so beautiful.
They're all gorgeous. She is an amazing colorist, Laura Jean.
Plus, we have 2 new bases.
Yes.
My
Pixie
weakness.
Plied. Amanda's Precious. And also, Sparkle. Which is a sparkle plied fingering, superwash merino and Lorex. And
I'm going to try to get these up so you can see the sparkle.
yeah.
Because you can't really see that when I do pictures.
No, that's not helping, is it?
No.
Well, we'll figure it out.
Anyway.
Does that work?
They're
that gets
beautiful.
the label.
They're so pretty.
Yeah. I don't know.
That just means you guys need to come in and look at the pretty sparkle on the wall and on the shelf because they're solids, there are variegated, and like this one with the rainbow and the sparkle, Fairy Garden.
So a lot of dyers use, when they do dye sparkle yarn, they use a wool and stellina base, which stellina, which I also love, is a little bit, a little more subtle, but it tends to pop out of the yarn.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it sort of sticks out.
Yeah,
sometimes.
so it's like a little gold
little
or silver
almost.
fuzz.
Yeah.
That. But this is Lurex, and it really wraps into the yarn.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a bolder sparkle to me.
It is a bolder sparkle, but the yarn is still like a nice round bouncy yarn, and it's not going to prickle.
The thing that's funny, I'm not really a sparkly person, but I definitely want to use this. I'm like thinking.
No, they're very sophisticated.
They really are. Yeah. It's really a nice
There's something about the combination of the sparkle and the colorways, and even the tonal. This is Grey Wolf, which is actually the same color that I'm using for the body of my sweater. But it's got like depth and tone and the sparkle, and it's
gorgeous.
A gray shimmer, so it's like, oh my god, I love it. And then our other base is...
But wait, there is still more.
This...
Fairy Floss.
Fairy Floss. I
so gorgeous.
have no idea if it's focusing or not, but we'll see. This is...
I have some pictures of it too.
Kid mohair, 72 kid mohair, 28 silk. And these colors are like so rich and beautiful and ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I love the look of mohair. I can't always do mohair because I'm just a delicate, dainty flower.
Yeah, I mean, you're sensitive to it. I am not.
But I want to not be. I don't.
It's almost like when people buy shoes that are the wrong size. I would suffer for this mohair. I totally would.
I mean, and it is not at all prickly. I'm just a delicate, dainty little flower who...
I think it's like delightful cloud.
It is.
I mean, that's sort of... The silk mohair is what I knit my gray sweater on.
Oops. Oh, sorry, guys.
So
this is super pretty. Super, super... I'm staring at the funfetti because it is funfetti cake in silk mohair, and could you just die?
So I'm thinking about doing a birds of a feather, picking
birds
one
of a feather
of
these. Would be
perfect.
And then, this would be so pretty.
Possibly even with the pixie plot.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I mean, this
Either
is
same
funfetti
color
and kelp cake.
or complementary colors.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Because if you see rainbow and gray...
And we have the love is love.
That's your Camaro.
Yeah. We have the love is love in both the Fairy Floss and sock. Mm-hmm. So you could do a rainbow.
Oops. You could do a straight up rainbow one.
Yeah.
Oh, I have it here. Mm-hmm. And then the mermaid rainbow. Oh, that's too pretty.
That's the one. Yeah.
It's too pretty.
I think mermaid rainbow with one of the solids could be.
I'm just gonna pet it.
The way I'm gonna go.
All right. Pet it.
So, all right. Y'all can pet those. I have to.
Amanda's gonna go run to the city and work on Charlie's sweater.
Yep.
We are super excited that you were able to join us for the podcast today, and I'm yanking up my shirts because I keep flashing people. Sorry.
Thanks for all your feedback. We've been happy to hear comments. You know, both
definitely
in person and via social media.
Yeah, we're learning. I'm learning how to video edit and do stuff. So
nice.
And we've been having fun. So
we've been having fun. We hope you guys have been having fun too. So don't forget to follow us on social media. We are on Instagram as Shop Yarnia, on Facebook, on Ravelry, on Snapchat. The subscribe button down below. Like us. Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Subscribe. Share with your friends. What else?
Come see us if you can. If you're in the Metro New York area, come on in and see us.
And
we are open every day but Tuesday.
Can pet the pretty mohair silk. And look at the pretty colors. So,
all right.
Have a great week, guys, and we'll see you guys soon.
See you soon.
Care. Bye.
That's the Yarnia phone.
The Yarnia phone. It's like the bat phone, but for yarn. We're just clapping.